What if the biggest thing holding you back isn't laziness? What if it isn't fear of failure? What if, deep down, you're afraid of what would happen if you actually became the person you know you could be? That sounds irrational, but psychology suggests it may be one of the most powerful and most unspoken forces shaping your entire life. And once you see it clearly, you'll start noticing it everywhere. In the project you keep almost starting, in the dream you keep almost chasing, in the version of yourself you keep almost becoming. Because here's the thing nobody says out loud. Some people aren't afraid of failing. They're afraid of what succeeding would actually ask of them. And understanding why that happens might be the most clarifying thing you ever learn about yourself. There's a guy named Marcus, 34 years old. Works in IT, stable life, steady paycheck, nothing falling apart. But Marcus has a folder on his laptop he's never shown anyone. It's full of writing, essays, half-finished stories, ideas he's been building for years during lunch breaks and late nights when the rest of the world was already asleep. And they're good. Not pretty good for a hobby good, actually good. A coworker saw one piece by accident once. Marcus had left his screen open and said, "You need to do something with this." Marcus laughed, changed the subject, went back to his desk, and closed the folder. That night, he told himself he'd work on it over the weekend. Saturday came. He reorganized his apartment instead, answered emails that could have waited a week, washed dishes that were already clean enough. By evening he was exhausted, not from doing anything, but from the effort of not doing the one thing that actually mattered. Around midnight, he opened the folder, read the first paragraph of his best piece. Something lit up in his chest. That specific kind of aliveness that only shows up when you're doing exactly what you were built for. And then he closed the laptop, not because the writing was bad, because some part of him knew it wasn't. And that knowledge, that quiet, undeniable recognition, felt more dangerous than any rejection letter ever could. Maybe your folder isn't writing. Maybe it's the business you've mapped out for 3 years, but never launched. The song sitting in your drafts folder collecting dust. The application you filled out, but never submitted. The conversation you've rehearsed 100 times in your head, but never actually had. Different folders, same fear. Here's where most people get this completely wrong. They assume what's stopping them is fear of failure, and sometimes it is. But for many people, failure isn't actually the deepest fear. The deeper fear is what success would demand, because success doesn't just change your circumstances. It changes your identity. It changes your relationships. It changes the expectations you carry for yourself permanently. And that's where it gets unsettling. Your brain has survived failure before. Embarrassment, rejection, disappointment, starting over. As painful as those experiences were, they landed in familiar territory. Your nervous system knew how to absorb them, but expansion becoming larger than the container you've lived in. Your brain has no map for that. And here's the mechanism behind it. Psychologists describe something called an upper limit problem. The idea that every person carries an invisible internal ceiling, a subconscious cap on how much success, happiness, or visibility they believe they're allowed to have before something goes wrong. It's like walking toward a door you've wanted to open your whole life. The closer your hand gets to the handle, the closer you get to actually having what you want. The louder every reason to turn around becomes. Not because the room behind the door is dangerous, but because you've never been inside it before, and the brain treats unfamiliar the same way it treats unsafe. But that's only the first layer. There's another reason this happens, and it's the one almost nobody talks about. From the time you were very young, you received signals, not always spoken, not always intentional about how much space someone like you was allowed to take up. Some people grew up in homes where the adults around them stayed small, not because they lacked ability, but because life had pressed them down repeatedly. And eventually they stopped pushing back. and children absorb this, not as a lesson, but as a rule. This is how much someone like us gets to have. So by adulthood, the moment life starts genuinely going well, the moment you start approaching what you're actually capable of, something triggers a correction, not because success is dangerous, but because it feels like a betrayal of everything familiar. There's one more layer underneath that, and this one is the reason Marcus closes the laptop every single time. As long as the writing stays in the folder, it stays perfect, untouched by reality. Potential has no deadline. It never receives criticism. It never fails publicly. But the moment Marcus sends one essay, the moment it becomes real, everything changes. Now it can succeed, or fail, and either way, he can no longer tell himself the comfortable story that he could have been something. He has to find out if he actually is. Almost is a painful place to live, but for many people, it's less terrifying than actually. Here's the question that changes everything. If you knew with complete certainty that you could not fail, would you still be avoiding this? Sit with that for a second, because if the answer is yes, if you'd still be finding reasons to wait, even with guaranteed success, then failure was never the real obstacle. The obstacle is who you would have to become, and that is both the most unsettling realization and the most hopeful one, because it means the thing standing between you and what you want isn't your ability. It's the story you've been telling yourself about your ability. And stories can be rewritten. Here's how that actually happens. Because it's not what most people expect, the answer isn't to become fearless. Fear doesn't leave before you act. It leaves because you act. Every time you move toward your potential, and the world doesn't collapse, every time you take one honest step and survive it, your nervous system collects a new data point. That was okay. I expanded, and nothing broke. Maybe the ceiling isn't where I thought it was, not through a single dramatic moment, not through one perfect decision that changes everything overnight, but through small, repeated acts of honesty with yourself. Showing one person the folder, sending the email you've been sitting on for 6 months, saying out loud, even just to yourself, in an empty room, I think I might actually be capable of this. Think about Marcus. Imagine he sends one essay, just one, not to a major publisher, to a single person whose opinion he respects. That one act doesn't guarantee anything, but it does something his nervous system has never experienced before. It proves that the door can be opened without the ceiling falling in. And there's something else worth saying, directly, honestly, to the part of you that feels like stepping into your potential would somehow be a betrayal. Of the people in your life who never got to. Of the family members who carried more weight than they should have, and put their own dreams in a folder that never got opened. Your becoming does not erase their story, it honors it, because the most truthful thing you can offer the people you love, the ones who stayed small, not by choice, but by circumstance, is to refuse to do the same thing when you don't have to. Not for ambition, not to prove something, but because there is something inside you that deserves to exist in the world. And keeping it hidden doesn't protect anyone. It just means the world never gets to see it. So if you have a folder, a literal one, a metaphorical one, something you've been circling for months or years without ever fully committing to, don't ask yourself whether you're ready. Almost nobody ever feels ready. Ask yourself this instead. What is one action the future version of me would take today? Not next month. Not when life gets easier or the timing feels right. Today, maybe it's opening the document, sending one message, saying one true thing out loud that you've been keeping to yourself. Because the life you've been imagining isn't built in dramatic leaps. It's built in ordinary moments where you choose honesty over comfort, one at a time. Until one day you look back and realize the thing you thought was protecting you was actually the thing keeping you exactly where you were. Years from now, your greatest regret probably won't be failing. It'll be realizing you spent your entire life protecting yourself from a version of yourself that could have changed everything. Your potential isn't asking you to be fearless. It's asking you to stop treating your own future like something you need protection from. That's it. That's the whole thing. If this video put words to something you've been carrying, share it with one person who has a folder they've never opened. And if you want more videos on the psychology behind why you think and feel the way you do, subscribe. New video every week. I'll see you in the next one.